This next act asked me to read this. Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, and Molly Hatchet could not be here tonight, but they all had sex and are proud to announce the birth of their two-headed baby, Tenacious D.
Right, I'm recording.
Welcome.
Do you want it? Would you like to introduce this week's episode?
You can.
Okay. Welcome to Can I Pod with Madness, the podcast for all your Kerrang 80s needs.
Oh, smooth.
What do we normally say? The podcast that looks at old issues of Kerrang for some reason.
Yeah, really well delivered there. Well done.
I was contacted by our friends at Getting Down and Wordy podcast, where they talk about songs and they talk about language and like words, and they also talk about Eurovision.
Right.
And they said, "Do you want to join a group of podcasters who basically put ads on each other's podcasts?" And I'm
That's
like,
a good idea.
yeah, all right. So we need to record an ad.
Okay.
I mean, I've got an ad, but it's like I did it when we first started, so the quality's not great. And we don't really sort of say what it's about. We just talk. So
am I involved in that?
Oh, I just clipped a bit out of an episode.
Oh, you mean for us?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right. I thought you were going to do an ad for...
No,
they would give you their ad that we would put in.
I think there's about six people doing it, and you're sort of rotating, and each pod you put out, you grab one of their ads and put it in the middle of yours. And I've got some like interstitial bits of music, which I don't really have any use for, but that would be a really good use for them. Yeah.
Interstitial.
Yeah.
I don't know what that word means.
It means like just a little sting.
Right,
just a tiny little sting.
Okay.
Because when Oliver, our musical director, when he did our theme tune, he also did a couple of little stings for us.
Got it.
Which I've used a couple of times, but we mostly just kind of blather through, don't we?
Yeah. Well, that's a good idea.
So
who are we advertising someone today?
No, we're recording an ad for ourselves where I will put on the thing for them to put in their own episodes.
Right.
So
you can hear the cogs in my head. But when are we? I mean, not that we need to help other people, but does someone not want to give us something to put into something?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that doesn't happen today.
Well, that'll happen when I edit it.
Oh, right. You got it to edit in this one.
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But we need to do a new ad.
Got it.
So how would you?
Got it.
Sell this utter nonsense to prospective
listeners?
Honestly,
I just wouldn't.
You just say.
I'd say there's probably something better out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's
something else. Life's very short.
That's not in question, but yeah, we need to think of something.
I'll think of something.
Riz.
Greetings.
Gendered language.
Onomatopoeias.
The ick.
What makes some words sound funny?
Why just listen to music when you can overanalyze the words in the songs?
Music, language, and Eurovision all crammed into one podcast.
Getting down and wordy with Russell and Hannah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so what have we been doing?
We've been to see Tenacious D.
Yes. And how was that? Do you want to give us your honest review?
Well, that makes it sound like I'm going to say something bad.
No.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Well, of course it was really good.
It was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was exactly what you would expect and want, and it was really good. The support act was really funny and really good, and I forgot the name. Dave Hill. Dave Hill,
yeah, he came because we didn't know whether there was going to be support, and then he just came on a bike, and then was twirling nunchucks about, and he was singing a song about being a caveman in a spaceship, which I've had stuck in my head ever since.
Yeah. Is there anything on YouTube for him?
I haven't looked.
Oh,
I've
look.
I've followed him on Instagram.
Well, go look. The internet is right in front of us.
Okay.
I'm staring at it. Oh, I can see all your history of what you searched for. Dodgy. I'll give you a glimpse. Most of it's either Disney or Star Wars. And something by Kate Bush.
Dave. See, if I type Dave Hill, I'll get the guy from Slade, won't I?
Is that him?
That's him, yeah.
See, my eyesight's not good enough to see his face from where we were sitting.
We weren't sat close.
No, but I think it's when you're seeing the arena, people's faces are like just light, aren't they? Because the spotlight. So it's I think you'd have to be pretty close to see someone's facial features from an arena, wouldn't you?
You'd have to be very close.
I was in a fight. That's a song.
That's a song, yeah.
I think we could both appreciate that. Just stupid for stupid's sake. And it's no, that sounds like an insult, stupid for stupid's sake. I don't mean that. I mean, it's just stupid.
Well, it's stupid in the way Tenacious D is stupid. It really fit.
It's more stupid than Tenacious D. That's I think that's the weird thing. They were I think because they've honed their craft that they're, they can really play and really sing, and it's like they're I'm just finding Baby Bell in my pocket. I think I just remembered. We've started going on walks, to get healthy, even though I feel like it's making me feel worse. But I've decided to treat myself and have walking cheese when we go for walks. So I'm
completely
finding
normal.
Vegan Baby Bells in my pockets, and I think I've got one in my bag that I need to remember to take away, and the wax.
You can thoroughly recommend Vegan Baby Bell.
Yeah, because they taste weird. Like, actually, Baby Bells I never liked. I don't think Baby Bells really taste much. I don't think Edam really tastes so much. It's like plasticky cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about the texture rather than the taste.
But the vegan Baby Bells taste like, I don't know, nice.
Just
nice.
creamier?
I mean, hella expensive, an absolute rip-off.
Well, yeah.
But, walking cheese, so...
Little recommendation for you there, walking cheese.
Walking cheese.
You're going walking, just take some cheese.
I mean, you don't do it. You refuse to do walking cheese, but...
I like my cheese on a cracker.
It's a nice little addition, Have a walk, have some cheese. Although I do finish it by, we've not even turned the corner. We can still, smell our house. But yeah, and it's already gone. But, I enjoy it while it's there. So shut up.
Is there anything else you want to say about Tenacious D?
Oh,
what was your favourite bit?
When they sang The Devil.
Beelzebos.
Yeah, that's the one.
Excellent version of Beelzebos.
Yeah.
So what were your 3 favourite Tenacious D songs you were telling me?
The Road, and...
Was it Pick of Destiny?
I do like that. I also like Low Hanging Fruit, but then I also like The Roadie. I don't know.
Have you seen the video to The Roadie?
Yes.
Is that 10-minute?
Yes.
sketch?
I sent that to my boss.
Did you?
To make a point that I feel like The Roadie. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny
because you have to stand in the wings of marketing and never get any of the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not the big flashy person on stage, so that's fine. Though I think that's where I belong.
I really liked this time that they had the full band, because last time we saw them was about 10 years ago. It was just the two of them playing acoustic, wasn't it?
It was a much smaller venue though.
Yeah, but it's really nice to have seen both, both the acoustic and the electric version of the D, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Although, when he said how many people saw Pick of Destiny,
yeah,
and he said you didn't fucking see it in the cinemas, I wanted to say, I did.
We did.
We did.
All right, forget I exist.
Well,
Shoving me out the way.
We could have both said I
walking
did.
over me to get to them.
That's hardly what I was thinking.
It's what you just did. Yeah, no, we did.
Yeah, but apparently people didn't. I bet plenty of people in that
Oh, of course they
frigging
will.
arena went to see it.
There were some young people though.
Were there?
Yeah, that girl in front of us who was getting really excited.
Oh,
she
yeah.
must have been in her 20s.
Yeah.
Which is really weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I forget how long ago that first Tenacious D album came out.
Yeah, why would someone in the 20s be into them?
Just like Jack Black.
I don't understand youth. I'm not going to try because they all listen to all sorts now, don't they?
Yeah,
Nothing makes sense.
yeah.
And it's not just chart music. It's not. Yeah, I mean, good on them, but also shut up with your youth. Flaunt it in my face.
You know, when he said, "Is there any gamers in?"
Yes.
I thought, well, I am, but if I ever identify as a gamer, just punch me in the face.
I'll happily punch you in the face.
Okay.
You do associate as a gamer. I mean, you're not on.
I don't
you're
go
not
around
streaming
saying
on Twitch or in one of those stupid chairs that looks weird, but you know, have neon in the background. But other than that,
But like, there's not. That's
you
not.
play it a lot.
I do.
Anytime I fall asleep on the sofa, which is a lot, you play it.
Baldur's Gate.
You play it.
Yeah.
So.
But like calling yourself a gamer,
yeah, no,
that's got bad associations, I think.
well, gamer. You're just a bit. I think you're just a bit too old to
I'm
just
a
be a gamer.
gamer. Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. You just have to be I play computer games. That's what you do.
And role playing
lot.
games. You know that song "Video Games" that he does? It mentions Red Dead Redemption 2,
Right.
and I wanted to say I know a guy who worked on that.
Should have heckled that from the
Like
audience.
when I finished Red Dead Redemption 2, I wanted to send this guy a bunch of flowers or something. I was so grateful because it's such a good game.
Right, yeah, and you're not a gamer. Such a geek.
All right.
All right.
Do you know how I said I got some fucking good content
Yeah.
for today? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want us to get to the magazine, sorry, you know how we roll by now. These things take time. So I have in my hand Mega Metal Kerrang number 10.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that is a magazine.
Well, it's not specifically about the magazine. I'm going to read you a pen pal letter. So you remember I reached out to some people
Yes.
and I had 3 responses.
Yes.
Got another one today.
Okay. Today? You got
Yeah.
today?
Yeah. So
Is that a lie or is that
No, it's true.
really today?
Like literally just before I finished work, an email.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and it's an amazing letter. So I'm going to read this.
Goodness.
Hi there. Who wants to help me? Send me all your Bon Jovi, Def Leppard and Cinderella articles / pictures and I'll send you info on your favourite bands. I would also like pen pals, male or female, 14 plus from the USA who like the above bands plus Crue, Aerosmith, Heart, Zeppelin, Poison, etc. John Bon Jovi lookalikes welcome. If female, you must be madly in love with John Bon Jovi. Write to Lisa Ventura, Worcester. Right?
Okay.
So let's find my email.
Okay. It's exciting.
I mean, I got a Facebook message and an email, but I think they largely said the same thing. So, and I sent these messages like in February or something. So, message. Thank you so much for your Facebook message. I'm so sorry I didn't spot it until last night. It landed in my message request spam folder, which I confess I rarely check, but I will now on. I am indeed Lisa Ventura, who put an ad in Kerrang magazine back in 1988. It's so hard to believe that back then there was no email or internet or mobile phones, and the landline telephone and writing letters were the 2 ways of keeping in touch with people. I had quite a few pen pals as a result of my ad, 2 of which I'm still in touch with today. One has become one of my best friends. Her Facebook is here.
Oh.
Just a few weeks ago, we were talking about Kerrang contacts and how we met through writing letters to each other when she responded to my ad. We used to love Kerrang writing letters to each other and talking about how much we love heavy metal. We lost touch for a little bit. We were reconnected again in 2007, and we've been very close friends ever since. So much so that she attended an investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle with me when I was awarded an MBE for services to cybersecurity and diversity inclusion.
What?
It gets better. It turns out that we are both neurodivergent, diagnosed with autism and ADHD, but much later in our lives. I was 44 when I was diagnosed with autism and 49 when I was diagnosed with ADHD. On top of that, being pen pals through Kerrang contacts helped us both massively in terms of the isolation we felt from our peers because of being autistic and having ADHD, though neither of us knew why we felt that way at the time. I struggled socially, so having the outlet of writing letters and having pen pals was a godsend. Today, I've built up a huge network on social media through my work in the cybersecurity industry, and I love building inclusive communities. I am still just as much into heavy metal and Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, and tons of other rock bands as I was back when I placed the ad, and I've seen many of them live over the years. If you would like me to share more, please let me know. Fiona and I would love to be guests on Can I Pod with Madness, if you will have us. I'm a regular podcast host and interviewer, and have taken part in many podcasts about cybersecurity and neurodiversity and diversity and inclusion, so I know the drill, what's involved.
Probably all of that apart from cybersecurity, because I would have little input.
A final thing, this might be really cheeky, but if you have a copy of the pen pal ad, I would love to have a screenshot. I've tried, both Fiona and myself have tried to locate it, but to no avail. So I had a look through and I couldn't find it in Kerrang contacts, but it was actually in that Mega Metal.
Right.
When I was desperate for people to like me, because I was just getting nothing from the people I wrote to. So I wrote back to her.
Side note, does she know that you're going to read out the letter?
Yeah, she said, feel free to share anything.
Okay.
Here's the magazine in full, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, no, I sent her Kerrang contacts as a PDF, but she's not in that. So she's also said, oh yeah, I couldn't spot you in there, blah, 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 and cut all this. So I said, we haven't had any guests on so far. We're just getting into the whole podcasting thing, but I definitely want to expand in the future. It would be great to have some readers from back in the day, either on Can I Pod with Madness or another podcast we've got in development.
So I was going to say, you're going to talk about that.
So I'll definitely be in touch.
Yeah, they'd be good on that.
And then I took a picture of the thing and sent it over to her. I'm so chuffed to have this. Thank you.
Oh,
she said. And she said, you're more than welcome to share anything I give you on the podcast. So it's fine that I read all that out. But how brilliant is that? Really
brilliant.
Yeah.
Pause for thought. Share anything on the podcast so we can share what she said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is very nice.
Yeah. That's the sort of wholesome message I want.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I always thought, like, well, this podcast is just you and me having a conversation. I don't know whether
conversation's a stretch, but yeah.
Well, you know, I talk at you, you talk at me, you know.
Me going, yeah, really? Oh.
The cats yell at us, you know.
They haven't started yet.
But yeah, I develop it, you know, I totally, because and that Joanne that wrote to us a while back as well.
The only thing I fear about guests is that I'm immature and I don't know how to talk to people other than you.
Yeah.
And, you know, speaking to humans worries me.
Yeah, but you do that all the time. You used to interview people for work.
I know, but I don't think I was very good at it.
Yeah, but you did it.
Right. Refer back to my other statement. I don't think I was very good at it. I sing in the car. I'm not very good at it.
Well,
I'm pretty good.
And I also wonder whether any of these people have actually listened, because if they, you know, I imagine this podcast is not everyone's.
Don't let her listen to it before she agrees to being on it. You know, one of the you can't, because we find what happens is that you get all in your head about it, and so just definitely don't listen to us talking about stuff before you come on, because then you'll definitely say no. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Wholesome.
Lovely. That is wholesome as fuck.
Right.
Yeah, so, and I mean, I suppose we're going to do it soon, but are you going to speak about a possible other venture? In vague details for now.
Yeah. It was your idea, so
it was my idea.
Pitch it.
Well, actually, I don't know, because what if people steal the idea? Because it's...
Well, who cares?
I care.
But, like, I think there's other people doing this kind of stuff. There's no original ideas.
Right.
There's 17 podcasts called Scaredy Cats, and you can't, stop people from calling their podcast Scaredy Cats.
True. Okay.
Well, there's some people getting very angry about Scaredy Cats.
We were going to do a separate podcast speaking to guests who have a passion for something. So that passion can be about anything, but it has to be a passion. That's the stipulation. You don't just do it and call it a passion. Side eye. Yeah. So that's it, really. Don't want to give too much away.
Well, we've got a few people in mind.
We've got 2 guests confirmed and said they're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've got some of our friends that we haven't asked, but we think they'll probably do it. Maybe if we really.
Yeah, we really haven't asked them.
Yeah,
I need to ask that person.
I need to ask that person.
But we do have 2 external people.
Yeah.
And these are people who, you know how you go through life and you randomly, that was meant to say randomly, I don't know what came out of my mouth then. Randomly, it's hard to say, meet people in life. But some people, like, you can have really brief interactions with people. So like 5 minutes in your entire life. And something about that 5 minutes leaves an impression on you. And that impression is normally because there's something there, like they're passionate about something, or it's probably because they're passionate about something, because if you were passionate about something, you wouldn't really remember it. But this has happened notably twice for me. So that's what the 2 people who instantly popped into my head. And I've asked both those people and they both have agreed to it and seem excited about it. So
I can only remember one.
Which one?
The Prince guy.
Okay. Well, the comic.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, we'll keep it close to our chest.
Yes, but it'll be good because it's basically going to be listening to people talk very passionately about something that they're passionate about, and that it doesn't matter whether that topic is something that you would ever personally be interested in, but someone who has like we're talking genuine passion. So when you're talking to someone and it's their soul talking to you, that is what we're looking for.
Yeah,
because then that's cool no matter what they're talking about. Let's not talk about something awful, but coffee.
So this podcast it's going to be us interviewing these people, but we're basically just going to let them talk, and it's not going to be our nonsense, which is what this we're going to say. We're going to save our nonsense for this. I'm
going to be professional. I'm going to have questions, but not loads of questions, and I'm going to try not to give my opinions.
Oh, well, yeah, that's important.
Because it's not about us. It's about what they're passionate about. So, yeah, anyway, don't steal the idea, you fucking twats.
I think Fern Cotton does something similar.
Fuck off! Right? Actually, she's got a cat. I can't get mad. She's put up a Instagram video of her and a cat before, so... Oh, I have to like her, whatever... I hate girls like that who are sort of ish my age and look really young and trendy. And it's like, whatever. Sit here in my tracksuit bottoms and my achy joints and my walking cheese and, whatever.
I mean, this episode is definitely going to be called Walking Cheese.
Walking cheese, yeah. Do it, honestly. And it can be any cheese. I mean, Hashtag let's keep it vegan. But, you know, you can get nice vegan cheese. Cathedral City vegan cheese is weird when you first have it. It's crumbly, way more crumbly than normal Cathedral City. Get over that. But once you've had it, you get cravings for it. I swear to God.
Violife is...
You love Violife.
Like the spreadable... what do they call it? Cream cheese.
Have you stopped buying that because you got too obsessed with it?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I feel like
I've not bought any in a
you've
while.
limited yourself.
I could just chow down on a whole tub of that in one go. That's
Hot.
and I never
no one
liked
tuned
cream
in for
cheese
this
that much.
hot content.
Yeah, proper
I could
nice.
chow down on Violife. You could do an advert for
Yeah,
it.
that's for
the
my
title.
OnlyFans.
Oh my
right.
God. Will people pay OnlyFans to watch you eat Violife?
I mean, there's a lot of weird people in
I
the
would
world.
be happy for you to do that. Women can watch you do that, and I don't care what joy they get out of it.
There's literally no woman on the planet. It's going to be some weird guy, isn't it?
Who cares? If that weird guy's going to pay us, I don't care. He can watch you and do whatever he wants.
Right.
Smear himself with Violife as he's watching you.
So,
Oh, are Violife going to sue us? No, we're saying we enjoy it. It's nice.
if you're listening to your Violife,
Sponsor
please
us.
sponsor
Oh,
us.
God, that'd be your dream. Can
The
Baby Bell Vegan sponsor me, please?
the Greek white block, whatever
Yeah.
they call it, that's really nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can't remember what that
I think
tastes
you're
like.
you're just stuck on your Cathedral City and your
I'm obsessed with that Cathedral City. Crave it.
Baby Bell.
Yeah. So that's cheese covered. Yeah.
Okay. This is your one-stop shop for vegan cheese opinions.
Honestly, because everyone knows when you first have it, vegan cheese is like, you're like, this is shit, I'll never be happy again. But then you get over that in about a day.
I don't think with the Cathedral City it was.
You do not miss normal cheese.
Yeah.
Like I really don't. And I used to eat cheese, didn't I?
Oh,
Cheese was my thing.
You used to be a cheese fiend.
Yeah. And now, mate, give me Cathedral City, plant-based any day. Any day. I mean, it's a bit crumbly, but, you know.
It's super crumbly. Yeah, that's the downside.
You know. C'est la vie, there are worse things.
C'est la vegan.
Speak of the devil, cats have started meowing again.
Okay, let's...
So you're actually going to look at the magazine now.
Actually going to look at some Kerrang.
Did you read the music papers from the back and to the front? Did you find out where to see your favorite?
And I want your opinion and description of this cover of Kerrang.
Hold on, I'm not looking something sexy. An 80s. Oh, I mean, I open my eyes and neither one of those two descriptions are accurate.
80s.
But it looks more 40s. And, you know, I'm no oil painting, so I can hardly sit here being like, oh, you're not good looking, but it's Phil Collins. So when I said sexy, it's Phil Collins. You make your own mind up. If you like that, magic.
Let's just find out how old Phil Collins was in March 1984.
20 years younger than me, probably. I mean, he doesn't look old. He just looks like Phil Collins. Phil Collins has always had that look.
He's never... I don't know. He looked pretty cool in...
No.
the early
Finish
days.
this. Don't bother finishing the sentence. That
No, like if you see
no,
Genesis
no,
live at the
no,
Bataclan in
no,
1973,
no,
he looks cool as
No.
fuck.
no.
Like
No,
tons of hair,
no.
not much
Tons
on his
of
head,
hair,
not on his head.
not on his head.
Well, he had a bit of hair on his head.
Oh, that's what we want. Nice hairy back.
So anyway, yeah, we've got
No offense to him.
Kerrang number 62.
God love him. Apart from the whole faxing his wife thing.
I think in his autobiography he says he didn't do that.
Did he?
He says a lot of stuff.
And then he made that song. Was it Invisible Touch? They were saying it's really toxic.
I think he faxed his wife after.
What's that song though? Is that the one I'm
Invisible
saying?
Touch,
Is that
yeah.
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, get over yourself.
Well, do you know what? Right before we
I'm not saying it's a bad. It's a banger, but
before we get into Kerrang, like long term.
wait, how old is he? Oh my God.
I thought you lost interest. Right, he's 73 now.
I was going to say, he's not 73 there, you idiot. He's not 12.
Right, how long ago is 1984? 40 years.
About 20 years ago.
So he was 33.
Shut up. Oh my
he's
God.
73 now?
Imagine you're at work, that guy comes in and he's like, I'm 33. You'd be like, fuck off. Why are you pretending, like, why are you being a creep? Why are you saying you're 33 when you're obviously 66?
I mean, that coat looks warm though, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like a really good quality coat?
Well, it was probably wool, mate. And he's got a nice scarf and a hat. That's what you need on the front of Kerrang.
I think he was wearing a flat cap a lot in this era, but yeah, I think this is most ridiculous Kerrang cover we've had, isn't it? I don't know. I don't understand. You normally have a guy with big hair playing guitar or a sexy lady.
Yeah.
You don't get a stubbly, grumpy-looking man in a flat cap and a, warm overcoat.
He don't even look that grumpy. He just looks a bit
cheesed off.
Like he's gone down to the corner shop to get a finger fudge, and he's like, they didn't have any fingers of fudge left, and he's like he knows it's not the end of the world, but he's just a bit like, oh,
he had to get a Kit Kat.
I had my heart set on that, but he it wasn't like he just really wanted it. He just thought, I might get a finger fudge, and it was just more a fleeting thing, and then he was just like, oh, so it's more that level of disappointment.
I was going to say, can you still get a finger fudge? But you bloody well could in 1984.
Exactly.
You?
Right, in February 23.
Do you think there's some way we could reach out to Phil Collins and find out whether he likes finger fudge or Kit Kat?
Well, he obviously does.
That seems more like a child's.
No, he just fancied it. He just fancied it. It was like 10p. He wasn't starving, but he just fancied something sweet that just wasn't like tons of stuff, and he thought, well, bob on, I'll get to the corner shop. They'll have it. Went to each. It wasn't there. So it just was like, that's disappointing. Not going to ruin my day, but it's disappointing. And that's the face he's pulling. And if you question that, look at his face, listen to my narrative, and you'd be like, yeah, you're right.
Right.
Finger
so,
fudge.
Long-term listeners.
Speaking of nothing to do with that, Toys R Us is coming back to the high street.
I didn't know it had gone away.
Oh, for God's sake.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey and helpers.
I don't know what to say about that.
Just be happy.
Revelation at Toys R Us. Why did Toys R Us go away for a reason?
Yeah, because no one buys from the high street anymore.
Right.
But they said, I think they're going to come back fleetingly because people do not buy on the high street anymore. Like, so it's, God bless them, but it's not going to last long. But when they said a shop's coming back, I was desperate for it to be Woolworths. Woolworths was fucking amazing. I remember I used to go to Woolworths and like you'd be able to get cheap Christmas decorations, amazing. And I once got a 4 cassettes. You could mix and match any of their 4 cassettes, and it was near Christmas time, obviously. So I was buying like 4 Christmas cassettes, and one of them was a Wurlitzer, and I didn't know what a Wurlitzer was. I just thought, well, it's Christmas, isn't it? So it'll be good. But I didn't know what a Wurlitzer was. And if you know what a Wurlitzer is, it's that and Christmas are the worst combination you can ever. Just awful. So and like you couldn't. Actually, do you know what? I think I might have taken it back because it was that bad. It was the worst thing that I ever had, and it was like 4 tapes for tenner or something. But your new Christmas playlist. Oh, brilliant.
Well, we talked about your Wurlitzer tape on one of our Christmas episodes.
This is one of those things where I've mentioned it and you're like, all right, Grandma, you've told us about this. And I'm like, have I? Yeah.
But we had 3 Christmas episodes, so I don't know which of the Christmas episodes it was.
Like this year? Christ.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's creepy. But yeah, so not everyone listens to everything we say, and I don't. So,
no, Woolworths. I mean,
that Woolworths Christmas advert I listened to on a loop. Adventure Call, brilliant.
Yeah, I could have sworn I put a Wurlitzer.
Maybe you took it off because it's awful and no one wants to listen to it. It's the worst thing ever. It's not Christmassy. It's not seasidey. I mean, maybe if you grew up in Whitby, it would mean something to you. But growing up without Wurlitzers, I mean, I'm just surprised I didn't know what a Wurlitzer was. But I think there was even a picture of it on the front of the cassette. But, you just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I thought it was like an organ. An organ's a Christmassy, like normal.
Well, it is a kind of an organ, isn't it? Wurlitzer
I guess so. But it doesn't sound like an organ. It sounds like It sounds like you at the seaside.
Right, yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, I can't find it.
I just thought Tina Turner, weren't we going to talk about something that we'd watched?
Well, I've got some Tina Turner content coming up.
Okay. But I thought we had talked separately and said, we should mention that we'd watch that. Had we forgotten?
Well, I mean, do you want to talk about it now?
No, I don't care. I don't really know what we're talking about anymore, but I mean, who knows? Ask me again in 5 minutes and we'll have the same conversation.
And we were talking about Wurlitzers, which we've
Good luck for the next 40 years of dealing with this.
If you're a super fan...
Because I'm not going to get any better. This isn't going to get better.
But, like,
I'm not even trying to forget all this shit.
Well, we would have recorded it in December. That's ages ago.
It's not that long ago. See, this isn't as bad as some. Because this could be like a music box, couldn't it?
Yeah. Sounds all right.
That doesn't sound too bad.
If you're at a German market, you'd like to hear that, wouldn't you?
The ones that were more like, oh, I don't like to be beside the seaside, like that, proper like that, but Christmassy. But I think the point is, when you don't know what a Wurlitzer is and you put a tape on and you've obviously, like we mentioned before, you invested. This wasn't the days when you could piss away money, although I did piss away money. But 4 tapes is, 25% of your purchase and you put it in and you're like, for fuck's sake. That's what, right. Okay, well, now I know what a Wurlitzer is. Fuck my life. It's disappointing. But not as disappointing or more disappointing than the fudge incident from earlier.
So
Speaking of
getting back to Phil.
Getting back on to Phil.
Right, so long-term listeners will know that last episode and the one before, we were talking about Q from 1992, right? And one thing that I had marked out to talk about, but we didn't get around to, was the video review section. And there's a review of... What?
The what?
The video review section.
The what?
The Viadeo review section. I'll have to put
you have to add that onto the
Viadeo on the playlist. So Phil Collins, but seriously, videos, right? And I wanted to read this out to you because it basically echoes something that you said, right?
Oh, that Phil Collins has said.
No.
Oh.
The you, human being.
No, I understand that, dickhead.
Listen.
What are you reading? Oh my God, what are you reading though?
I'm reading a review of Phil Collins, but seriously, the videos.
A review of Phil Collins. That's what he had to say.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what it did say. Right, so from the middle of the review.
Yes. Something about fudge.
As for the misery, well, someone's got to do it. In songs like All of My Life, Do You Remember, and Something Happened on the Way to Heaven, Collins writes about a world where relationships are doomed, men are always unfairly having to take the blame, and where women nearly always lie. Hardly very right on, but it obviously comes straight from the heart, and his one-man riposte to the Guardian Women's page obviously strikes a few familiar chords with millions of record buyers. Now, literally the other day, you were telling me that you thought Invisible Touch was very toxic.
Yeah, because it is. You listen to it and you're like, oh God, all right. Yeah, it's all her fault, is it? Yeah, it's her fault, is it? It's definitely her fault. Can't be yours. Really look at yourself in the fucking mirror, Phil.
I mean, if you read his autobiography, it was mostly his fucking fault.
Right. But even so, I'm just saying that, you know, yeah, you can hide it in a banger and it's all pop and fun, but come on.
Well,
Come on.
we're talking about Genesis in 1984 rather than, I think Invisible Touch came out in 86, so this is a bit before that. So on the cover of Kerrang, we've got Genesis, Alien Culture, we've got Shy, Spider, Great White, John Cougar, Rock Goddess, Wendy O. Williams, Rick Springfield, and John Sykes.
Lovely.
So in Mayhem this week, we've got
It's a
a
really good picture.
lovely picture of Status Quo, and it said they undertake another major British
Did they
European
know that
tour.
photo's been taken?
Well, yeah, look, they're giving it the mean, moody, and magnificent.
Who is?
All of them.
That guy. Is he?
I think he always looked like that.
Is he?
Yeah.
He knew it's been taken, did he?
Yeah.
He looks like he's smiling at his mum.
got
Like
his-
his mum's gone, put your nice smile on.
He looks a bit like Kevin from Coronation Street. I mean, there's a hip modern reference for
does.
today's kids.
He also looks like all commercialised.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
Chris Needham.
Yeah.
So
Chart music. You must listen to something that says chart music about 19 times a day, because
well,
when I'm at home with you, that's all I hear.
the podcast chart music,
Oh, is that what it's called?
yeah,
Oh,
plays
okay.
plays that.
So you never tell me anything. I don't know.
I'm sure I've told you that.
You haven't. Maybe you have. Actually, yeah, good point. You might have told me 5
While we were
minutes
talking
ago.
about Wurlitzer
Yeah, maybe.
and Elijah Wood.
Oh, wait, what?
So the article is called "Quo Call It Quits."
Uh-oh.
Status Quo undertake another major British European tour from April-July, and these shows will mark the band's farewell appearance as a live act. I mean, some tight jeans, armadillo of the month
Tight jeans.
action. Well, I mean, you know, if you're in Status Quo,
The Quo. I thought they wore like denim on denim. He's got a leather jacket on there.
I don't think
I thought it was always denim on denim on denim on denim.
I don't think they've crystallized the look yet.
Right, okay.
So this was interesting to me because when I was at school, some of my friends went to see Status Quo, and it was a long bloody time after 1984. So they clearly didn't call it quits. And I looked this up. Basically, like these two.
So is that the guy that goes with him at the
That's
moment?
Rick Parfitt and Francis Rossi in the middle.
God, he doesn't look anything like him.
And
now.
that's all you need to worry about, because they didn't call it quits as a live act. They just basically were sick of each other, and the band sort of split up. Then these two formed another band that were also sort of called Status Quo, leaving the others in a lurch, and just went on for another, you know,
But maybe it
90
was because
years.
of his photo.
Do you think?
And they thought, come on, and neither here nor there. So we're going to go with the two.
Actually, I think this guy on the end, the keyboard player, I think he remained in the band, but the other two
Right, but you don't know his name.
got the. Well, no, it's Andy Bone. I don't, you know, I don't know, you know, the history of Status Quo, but in it, mad that like they'd been going about 20 years at this point, and obviously they thought, well, that's a long time, you know, we need to call it quits, and then. Or maybe it was because they played at Live Aid, didn't they? Like a year after this, they played at Live Aid, and then everyone was interested again. So they thought.
So
well,
what hits did they have when they were these lot?
I don't know, Rocking All Over the World.
Right, okay.
Caroline. Down.
And that was with all of them?
I think so.
Right, okay. But they just split and then kept all those songs?
They and kept going and did some stuff that wasn't
Right.
that good. We used to make fun of the
You bitch.
kids who liked Status Quo because they seemed a bit showbiz. Yet they didn't seem like a proper rock band. They just seemed
I'd
like,
make fun of kids who like Status Quo too.
you know, you'd probably hang out with Jim Davidson, you know.
They do sort of make me cringe now.
Yeah. You've got a real Status Quo
I do.
aversion,
I don't wanna,
haven't you?
only because I just feel like anytime you hear them talk, they're like, "Oh, we're crazy rockers, us. We take loads of drugs," and it's like, "Oh God, if you have to keep saying it, I'm going to start to think that you may be just saying it." Like, it just feels a bit too forced. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And some of the songs are alright, but
some of them great. Rocking all over the world.
Great
I mean, they
is,
didn't write it. It's a cover.
Great.
Come on,
Great.
you like it? You'd nod your head. You do that dance where you put your.
I would not. I would
the thumbs
not,
in the belt loops.
I would not do that. How dare you? How dare you
Come on,
suggest? How dare you suggest?
A few shandies.
How dare you?
After some walking cheese.
It makes me cringe thinking about it. If I was out somewhere and they played it, I would cringe.
Oh, I mean, it's dad rocking it, but dads need rock too.
Yeah, but they can have Nickelback or whatever now.
Well, I found the video to the End of the Road tour. I put it on the playlist so you can watch the whole concert.
Oh, thank God.
So moving on. What else we got? Roger Daltrey's got a single out.
Nice.
What's your feelings about Roger Daltrey and the Who?
Like CSI.
Daltrey has no plans at present to tour, and as far as the Who's position is concerned, the vocalist has stated that, quote, "If you can believe what Pete Townsend says, then it's over." So, and I think they're on tour this year.
Right.
So, but he thought they'd knocked it on the head in 84.
So everyone's on tour and everyone's over.
You like a certain song that he did for a certain movie though, don't you? A certain cover version of a certain Elton John classic in a certain vampire movie from a certain 1987.
Christ. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the low point.
Gentlemen, Mr. Elton John.
So there's an article about Spider. Are you aware of Spider?
Spider. Spider.
Well, you've got to explain that.
I don't really know. Is it one of our nephews?
Yeah. Didn't he once say?
Yeah, but
Spider.
I think we have some nephews who were like children about 900 years ago, and they obviously occasionally say some words a bit funny, and we latch onto that and then only ever use those words in a funny way going forward. So we've got a wizard in our garden, and he saw it and he went, "Is it? Is it?" And then he went, "Not scary," because he was obviously terrified by it, and he was trying to convince himself that he wasn't scared, but he clearly was by this resin wizard. But he went, "Is it?" So we always say, "Is it?" Not scary. So there, and Spider. Who said that?
I think it was him.
Same one.
I think so. Or maybe
Probably.
it's just the way he said wizard.
He's not Cockney, so I don't know why it's coming out Cockney. But so it's just one of those things that you pick up from kids because they say things in a funny way.
Can't talk properly.
But like say it once, slightly weird, and we like not rinse them to their face, but we make it like, well, that's all you can say forever.
It was before he could really talk properly. You know, I mean, you can have a conversation with him now, but like back then, it was just.
Well, he's 43 now. So. Okay, so Spider. I don't know Spider.
Of a major corporation. Yeah, so I think Spider and Nwabum. So this time the band have decided to record what can only be described as a concept album. The title Rough Justice referred to the hard time heavy metal fans gets from the media.
No.
Indeed, the LP opens up with a pompous judge sentencing the band to death for playing heavy metal.
Oh dear. On there, he's got a nice blouse on.
He says it's actually happening. Big Brother, the media is Big Brother.
Right, the media that he's publicising himself in right now.
Also, the single Here We Go Rock and Roll is a dig at the radio stations and the people in the media who create fashions and say this band is hip this year or this week and this band isn't hip anymore. And people have taken the piss out of the fact they use the words rock and roll in so many of their song titles. We'll keep writing songs about rock and roll until people stop moaning about it. So that's not a very progressive attitude to take, is it? You're just basically trying to piss people off. But should we have a bit of Spider?
Yeah. Oh, baby. Sounds worse quality than that.
I mean, does that...
It feels like it's someone pressing play and record at the same time on a tape recorder in the same hall, scout hall, as these guys playing without any plugged-in instruments. But other than that, it sounds good.
Well, I think that's part of it, but also my speakers are...
I do... Oh, is it your
shitty.
speakers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like, you know...
That shit.
It's not like... don't feel
Shut
a
up, I do
Reaper
like the
level.
logo. The logo
Well,
is good.
do you want to describe the logo?
It's a spider.
It's sort of metal.
It's a spider on the word spider. It's got fangs and red eyes.
And it's made of metal.
And weirdly, you can really see 6 of its legs. Whereas obviously we all know that the key point about spiders is their 8 legs. So it seems weird. Like, I think the other 2 legs are under the P and the E, but then it feels a bit like the whole thing about spiders is their 8 legs. So to really, really maximize their 6 legs.
I mean, are these
So I mean, I think
legs
that,
at the bottom?
yeah, I think that's a leg and that's a leg with feet or something.
Yeah.
But it just seems like a weird choice, doesn't it?
I think the sort of chrome rendering of it makes it a little bit difficult to...
It's fucking good for the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't make that now.
It's a bit of airbrush, that, I reckon.
I couldn't do that. Could you make that logo now? Look that good?
In Photoshop, I could, yeah.
Piss off.
In Photoshop, you do it. You know.
Yeah, some people can. Who do you think you are? You can do that now.
Right, the next...
Right.
Right.
Yeah, right. Do it. Right, do it. So do it.
Right, the next Calipod with Madness logo is going to look like that. It's going to have a 6-legged spider on it.
Spider with
it's going to be made of metal.
Yeah.
And you're going to eat your words.
I better do, because...
Do you like about 5 minutes,
when is
mate?
this from?
84.
84, look at that. Look at it.
I couldn't have done it in 84.
Paint we were like mad on paint in the early 2000s. Paint. And look at that.
Yeah, but someone's actually done that with an airbrush. There was no digital art back in the elder days.
What do you mean they've done it with an airbrush? What do you mean on each record? No. So they've done it with an airbrush, but it's still like clever. It looks like... Whoa. I'm just saying.
I mean, this is what's made this podcast such a hit.
I mean, I'm just saying it's good for the time.
but what about the music? Doesn't it sound a bit Status Quo to you?
I just realised that the album's called Rough Justice. Or is that the song?
That's the album.
The album's called Rough Justice. Fuck off. This is not like Status Quo. Status Quo wishes they were like this. This is what Status Quo want to be when they're going on like, oh, aren't we rock and roll? We take drugs. Yeah, we get it. You want to be Spider, but you're not. So,
I think Quo are definitely influenced.
fuck off. No way. In the same way that they're influenced by me.
All right. Should we talk about something else? Easy Action. Do you remember Easy Action?
Yeah. No.
They got a song
know.
called We Go Rockin'. Do you remember that song?
Play it. That's a person in a ghillie suit. This video looks familiar. Have we looked at this before?
Yeah, a long time ago though.
Hey, look, I remember something.
It's a bit bad news.
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's ace. Especially the chorus.
Okay, this is where I've got to pay attention. King tonight, rockin' dancing. All right. Okay, yeah, got it. All right, okay, yeah. Tonight. Yeah.
Good
Nice.
chorus, lads.
Really original. Yeah, not heard that before.
Ballsy up tempo rockers with a lot of glitter and very little soul.
Oh.
Well, you know, not a glowing review, but you know, it was all right. Right, moving on.
Oh, come on, honey. I wasn't that bad.
Right, so
Oh, well.
Communication.
Hey, Saxon.
Well, yeah. Verity on tour with Saxon this year. I should find some Verity and put that on the playlist. I haven't done that. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to Whitesnake guitarist Mel Galley for taking the trouble to get me backstage passes for Castle Donington because I come from the same town he does. Mel also gave me his own personal pass so I could get in to see the band at the Nuremberg Festival last year. I mention both facts now because it seems that Whitesnake have had a lot of criticism recently for supposedly having no time for ordinary people. Well, from my contact with Mel, I'd say all this talk is utter nonsense.
Oh.
I mean, there seems like there's more to that story. I mean, he's not doing that for everyone, is he?
No. Because...
He's not giving everyone backstage passes.
But it's a nice thing to do.
All right, here's a good letter for you.
Yeah.
Isn't it about time Kerrang gave some coverage to some of the great bands from the past, such as The Doors, Santana, and even Pink Floyd? Do you realise that the average Kerrang reader probably knows everything there is to know about modern, quote, bands. Like Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Venom, and Merciful Fate?
Why is Motley Crue not a band?
Such things as the origin of, for example, Santana, Jimmy Page's guitar style, Jim Morrison's vocal nuances, and Roger Waters' inspirational songwriting remain a virtual mystery for them. It's becoming painfully obvious that all you care about promoting those macho stars who ponce about in leather and chains. Music seems irrelevant to Kerrang. That's from Nancy Wilson, devotee.
Heart devotee.
Yeah.
Why is Motley Crue not a band?
This person doesn't like Motley Crue or Ozzy Osbourne or Venom or Merciful Fate and thinks Kerrang should just be about bands from the 60s and 70s.
Band? Bands?
Well, he thinks they just ponce about in leather and chains.
I mean, they sort of do for some of it, but it's still a band. And the Stars. I'd argue that Stars is written like that. I
think Nancy Wilson, Heart Devotee, really is just waiting for Q to be invented and is reading the wrong magazine because you're not going to get that from Kerrang, are you? In the mid-80s.
TX, Xavier Russell, Dante Buento, and Malcolm Dome know as much about rock as my unborn brother. Who are they?
They're all writers for Kerrang.
Wow. Crumbs.
I mean, this person's got a bit of a problem, haven't they?
They are.
Hey, check it out.
Spider.
On tour.
Have we missed it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So in Rock USA, they're talking about the American Music Awards. top group, top live group, top album cover, and second best tour of the year was how Def Leppard fared, with Joe Elliott being voted best male singer and sex object of the year, trouncing
Really?
Sting, Boy George, Pat Benatar, and Dave Lee Roth in US Rock Mag Cream's annual readers poll. Billy Idol was voted punk of the year.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, I find it funny that they've got a punk of the year award.
You punk. Maybe it's something like that. You don't punk. Maybe it's that.
Time, the flashy news magazine, decreed that Ronald Reagan and Andropov, RIP, would jointly share its Man of the Year award. A Brazilian gentleman wrote in to disagree. David Lee Roth, lead singer of the rock band Van Halen, should get it, he reckoned. A man who, in a time of crisis and world tension, brings joy to the hearts of millions of young people. Do you think David Lee Roth was Man of the Year in 1984 because he's brought joy to millions?
My memory of 84 is hazy, but I'd say yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, 84 was when the 1984 album
Right.
with Jump On came
then
out.
yes,
So
100%.
you're not going to get better than that, are you?
No.
There's an advert for Too Close to the Ground by Status Quo.
It's not a very good advert.
It
It's awful, actually.
looks a bit like Alice Cooper, doesn't it? It's a cartoon.
If you can call it that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're not a fan?
No.
Oh, no. Do you know what? I think his guitar is so heavy that he's too close to the ground. He's having to do the splits to play it.
Got it. It's a concept.
And it's in black and white and blue because the blue is their jeans.
Of course, because denim.
Denim, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Denim.
On tour with Rock Goddess.
Okay. Looks like a nice hotel room. Brown on brown on brown.
Well, everything was brown in the early 80s,
Carpets,
wasn't it?
curtains. Look, scroll up. Oh. The carpet, the walls, the bed covers in a hotel.
And the headboard.
The bed covers in a hotel were brown. Think about that for 5 seconds. Imagine getting into a hotel room and the bed covers are brown. Imagine that.
Do you think they all shared the same room?
Probably. So it's brown walls, brown carpet, brown bed covers, brown headboard, beige foam. Oh my goodness. There were other colours though in the 70s, weren't there?
Yeah, but it's just easier to do brown, I think.
Yes, sir.
Well, they look like fun girls anyway, don't they?
That feeding a dog an ice cream or milkshake or something like that looks nice.
She's looking pretty cool in the shiny trousers.
Yeah.
Rocking out, meeting the fans. Right, a lovely Ross Halfin picture of Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue, and Wasted. They're all hanging out together. So do you think this was the tour where, you know, Ozzy was pissing on the floor?
It looks like the right look
it's
for all
the right
of them.
era, isn't it? Yeah. Snorting ants.
Supposedly.
Oh, do you know what? Like,
Spiders in the night. Is that what you're going to play?
No, I was going to play this.
When we were on tour with Ozzy, we'd always have these crazy parties backstage. And I'm like, oh, dude, let's just go to the fucking room. Let's just chill out. Come on. And the fucking right, and it fucking, and it's just going like, I'm like, dude, please. I just fucking grab him, like, come on. Take him to the elevator. I find his room, put the key in. I'm like, okay, bud. I like push the door. I'm like, okay, bud, you're in your room. Okay, bye. He's like, no, fucking come in, mate. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I almost got out of here. And he pulls me into his room, pulls his pants down, and just shits on the fucking floor. A fucking big shit on the floor. And I'm like, okay, dude, I gotta go. No, fucking come. And he fucking drags me back in, and now he picks up the shit, and he's got it in his hands, and he's just smearing it all over the walls of his fucking hotel room. I'm like, dude, I gotta go. This is fucked up. And I remember turning around and I saw his back, and he was just painting with this shit on the walls, and I just fucking was like, now's my chance. And I fucking pinned it out of there, dude. I was like, this is on some other next level shit. Like, I'm not really ready to compete at this level. I'm cool with, taking a shit in the toilet.
If Tommy Lee is saying that something's too much, then that's quite something, isn't it?
I can tell you're shocked.
I didn't like that. Yeah. I don't like poo stories.
About shit.
I'm going to pretend that wasn't true and that didn't happen. So that's
they didn't show that in the dirt.
Thank God, can you imagine? Ooh, I can't start gipping because I feel like I'm not too far away from gipping now. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Should we talk about something else? The latest Bob Seger single on Capitol, Old Time Rock and Roll, has been used on the soundtrack to a movie called Risky Business, which has just opened. And that's like all anyone knows about that song now is that film, isn't it? That's
all
the
anyone knows
iconic.
about that film is that bit.
Yeah. Have you never seen it?
No. Weirdly.
Yeah.
Don't need to have seen that bit.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
I bet it's pretty good.
I watched it many, many years ago, and I thought it was quite rude because I was quite young when I saw it. And,
he's a bit cheeky.
Yeah, I think he's...
Does he have lady friends?
He's got... My memory of it is he's got rich parents, but they go away and he has a wild party and he hires like a high-class call girl and she comes round and he gets into some shenanigans.
Is that the Risky Business?
Yeah, that was the Risky Business, yeah. It's Rebecca De Mornay.
Why have I never seen it?
It seems like the sort of thing you would have watched.
Yeah, weird.
Okay, so we've come to the halfway point in the magazine, and we're going to leave you for another week, leave you high and dry. But we'll be back next time to pick up on this fantastic.
So, do you tell people that there is also a playlist for the songs that you cover in YouTube that they can go and listen to, and doesn't have to be listening to our voice, but it can be listening to the songs that we cover?
Absolutely. Well, you just did.
Okay, but do you tell people that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You sort of do a bit, but you don't really explain it.
Well, there's a playlist that all the songs we talk about.
But some people might not use playlists in YouTube. So if you went on to how? No, you misunderstood. Some people might not know about playlists. So how would one find your playlist on YouTube?
Well, if you go to, that's a good question. If you on Instagram, I always put a story with a link on. But if you go to our link tree, which is all of our links.
Where would they find the link tree?
It's linktree/pod with madness.
Pod with madness, yeah.
You've got links to Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever that is. Apple, Spotify, email, Facebook.
But what about playlists, which is what we're talking about?
Well, that will take you to the playlist, the YouTube button, but also I've got a link to the YouTube playlists in the socials section. So yeah, you just go to Linktree.
But where do people listen to it on YouTube? Do you put the actual podcast on YouTube?
I put the podcast on YouTube, but I put the playlists on YouTube as well. So you click on that, that takes
That's
you
your
to
playlists.
Our playlists, all of the playlists, all the playlists we've ever done.
Right. Okay.
So if you're listening to Can I Pod with Madness episode 35, you go to the episode 35 playlist, and all of the stuff we've talked about is going to be on there.
Okay.
And you can just luxuriate in, there's a bit of Quo on there, there's Spider.
Nice. There's
the Roger Daltrey song, which we didn't really talk about. Def Leppard Photograph, I mean, that came out this week. So, there's a lovely heartwarming story that Tommy Lee tells about Ozzy Osbourne. That's on there. I've put the equivalent clip from The Dirt.
Nice.
Next to it, I've put Old Time Rock and Roll with the risky business thing, and just some general related stuff, and you just have fun with it.
So enjoy it.
But tell your friends, your Kerrang loving music fan friends.
And would you appreciate it if people subscribed?
Yeah, if you subscribe, let us know that you've listened. You don't have to tell us you like it. I mean, we prefer it if you did. Just say hi, just reach out, because we are getting people downloading it.
It would be nice if in the comment section on YouTube, if people could let us know what they were listening to at the same time. So if they're around on this year and this month, what they would have been listening to, what their total favourite hit was at the time.
1984.
Yeah, so pop it in the comments if you were.
So what was yours?
Well, I was young. So, I mean, it could have been something really cool.
It's probably Van Halen Jump, wasn't it?
When I was 3 or whatever. Yeah, probably. Something from Chock-a-Block. Chock-a-Block was definitely... Do you remember Chock-a-Block? That's brilliant.
Any 3-year-old is going to love Jump, because it's a fun song.
I wish I was that cool. I'd love to pretend I was that cool. I really don't think I was, but let us know in the comments.
Let us know your favourite 1984 hit.
Yeah.
Let us know what you're up to. Did you ever write into Kerrang?
Yeah, let us know that.
Did you have any lifelong friends that you made?
Yeah, let us know.
These are the sort of things we thrive on.
Yeah.
And do you like walking cheese?
Have walking cheese. Try it. Go on your little mental health walk. Have some walking cheese, and you'll be like, yeah, I understand now. And whatever cheese does it for you, but just try it. It's nice.
A hobbit would have had walking cheese. When they're kind of wandering out, they want second breakfast.
Yeah, that's me.
They'd carry a bit of cheese with them, wouldn't they?
Yeah, probably.
Back in those days.
Yeah, I'll stand by it. I don't care. It's
all
good.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Stay metal.
Stay metal, say cheese.
Bye.
Tell Tenacious D they were kick-ass.
And who should I tell him said that?
Tell him it was Sasquatch. Tell him it was a friend.
Okay.
You know what? You better tell him it was Sasquatch. They won't know what friends you're talking about.
Oh, okay, sure.
See ya.
Yeah, so...